God message today. The wind carries a whisper tonight, not just a breeze, but a tremor in the air, like heaven itself exhaling revelation. It does not howl, it hovers. It hovers in the corners of memory, in the cracked frames of yesterday, in the long pauses between conversations you've replayed for years. And now, by divine decree, the silence breaks. Sentinel Kalian, the archwarden of Ether's gate, stands poised in sacred alertness, not with anger, but with revelation. His blade is not forged for blood, but for truth, and what he uncovers is not just hidden, it is sacred, buried in the marrow of your history, sealed in the folds of your name. Heaven has unsealed a moment. This very breath you're taking, this word you're reading, it is not random. No, it is confirmation. You were summoned into this moment. For the next 24 hours, the vault of time itself will shake, not the time measured by man's ticking hands, but by eternity's breath. These hours have been etched in celestial ink. They are sacred, marked, unalterable, and you, soul of fire, are standing inside of them. The veil has thinned. The air between dimensions is raw, holy. You may feel it as a pressure behind your thoughts, as a nudge in your belly, as a chill crawling up your spine. It is not fear, it is divine presence. Kalian now steps beside you. He does not ask for permission. He arrives with heavenly authority, and his voice cuts through the fog. Awaken. The ones you trusted have spoken everything except what mattered most. It was never a lie, not in words. But oh, the truth was curated, withheld like a dagger behind a curtain. You were handed fragments, edited for your supposed protection, and now the silence has come under celestial review. There is a woman, Serentha, whose voice once wrapped you in lullabies, she who once hushed storms with her embrace, but Kaelion declares she knows. She has always known more than she shared. Her silence was not innocence, it was calculated, and heaven is not condemning her, it is confronting the weight of her silence, because silence, when steeped in knowing, becomes deception. You asked her once, maybe twice, you remember her pause, that strange breath she took before answering, that carefully rearranged sentence, the way her eyes did not meet yours. That was not forgetfulness, that was fear, or shame, or both. There are whispers in your bloodline, soul of thunder, from the hearth to the graveyard, whispers that brush across generations like ash from a hidden fire. You heard them, but dismissed them. You called them imagination. But now your spirit remembers. Kelion stands on ancestral ground. His blade gleams with unspoken names, his voice wrapped in lightning. He speaks. They underestimated you. The ones who buried the truth believed the child in you couldn't carry what your spirit was born to bear. But you are not a child anymore. You are chosen. Your discernment wasn't delusion. Your questions weren't disrespect. Your intuition wasn't rebellion. You felt what they buried. You sensed the fractures in their stories, the cracks in their smiles, the tremble in their voices. Now heaven confirms it. The truth is not a sword meant to wound you, it is the key meant to release you. This isn't just a family matter. This is a war veiled in sentiment, a conflict dressed in generational affection. But beneath it, beneath the surface, the realm of spirit is roaring. You were not meant to repeat what they survived. You were summoned to end it. This is why Kalian came, not to destroy, but to dismantle. not to shame, but to reveal. He declares, the bloodline has trembled since you arrived, not because you're weak, but because you're disruptive. You were never meant to be the echo. You are the voice, the shift, the hinge between what was and what shall be. This assignment didn't begin with you, but it will end through you. They will say it's about emotion. You, child of clarity. You, bearer of sacred disruption. You, who carry fire in silence. Your stillness pierced more darkness than your loudest cries. Your silence bore witness to their strategies, and heaven took notes. There were forces, ancient, bitter, that tried to blind you, tried to convince you that your insight was paranoia, that your spiritual radar was broken, that you needed to be quiet, obedient, small. But now heaven thunders. You were not mistaken. You were discerning. Kalion doesn't speak in riddles. He does not whisper. He declares. What was hidden is being retrieved. What was withheld is now being exposed. The truth shall no longer sleep beneath ancestral dust. Type I am ready for truth if your spirit is stirring. In this hour, let the blessing code 4044 fall like dew upon your mind, your dwelling, your memory. Let it light the corners of every forgotten conversation, every misaligned memory, every glance that held too much. She smiled. Yes. He nodded. But the truth never escaped their mouths. That pause, that space between words, it was deliberate. She measured every syllable like a priest handling sacred relics. But in that hesitation, in that carefully placed silence, a sacred thing was buried, a truth that could have shifted the very course of your life. It was not spoken, not because you weren't worthy, but because someone believed you wouldn't survive it. But look at you now, still standing, still discerning, still asking, still chosen. You remember it, don't you? That odd tone shift, that odd tension in the room, that glance between two elders when you walked in, that awkward joke that deflected your question. Those were not accidents. They were barriers, thin veils. Kalian draws near again. His blade pulses with radiant fire. He says, the archives of heaven are opening. The pages that were torn are descending. You will remember. You will know. You will feel. Type I am anointed if this message sits heavy in your chest. Let the blessing code 1516 pour through your lineage like water through dry roots. May it awaken the sleeping truths, stir the buried facts, and breathe light into the closets of your history. And understand this, this moment is more than personal, it is prophetic. You are not just a seeker, you are a breaker of chains. You are the storm that ends the drought, the voice that interrupts the silence, the light that no longer waits for permission to shine. Even now, Kalian whispers, the truth is not coming to hurt you, it's coming to awaken you. You were always the appointed one. The enemy knows your name not because you fell, but because you refused to stay asleep. You are the living contradiction of your bloodline's silence, the divine intervention sent into a house of secrets. So rise, be still, but do not be passive. Be silent, but do not be numb, for something is stirring in the wind, a rupture before the release. Type I am chosen if this word pierced your heart. Let the blessing code 999 wrap itself around you like a mantle. Let it flood your present and rewrite your past. You have been marked, not by man, but by divine justice. And Kalian, with fire in his eyes, lifts his voice once more. The silence has been broken. The heavens have stirred. The child of shadow is now a vessel of light, and the bloodline shall never be the same again. The final silence before the thunder. Through the haze of uncertainty, don't force it. Don't chase it. Let the truth unravel at its own divine pace. Because truth that is forced resists, but truth summoned by heaven runs, wrapped in holy fire, cloaked in divine timing. The next 3 hours are sacred. Yes, you heard that right. 3 hours. Heaven has carved out this window with precision. You may not hear trumpets, but you will sense a sacred whisper, a song that cuts too close to your wound, a text that lands with eerie timing, a gaze that says more than it dares to voice. Subtle, quiet, divine, be alert. Truth is rising. It is pressing against the lids of old lies, breaking the seals placed on family secrets, dismantling the pacts of silence formed by those who mistook hiding for protection. But the heavens have decreed enough. Archangel Michael speaks, gentle yet unyielding. Do not confront what heaven is already confronting. Do not chase confession. Do not pry open what heaven is unraveling. Your role is stillness. Your assignment is alignment. There is power in your restraint, strength in your silence, glory in your stillness. This is sacred warfare, but it is not your battle. It belongs to heaven, and heaven never loses. Your mother, yes, her, the one who knows more than she's saying, may feel the spiritual tremor in her bones. She may become distant or unusually present. Either way, this is not about you. It is the pressure mounting in her soul. Not all divine confrontations speak. Some simply weigh the room down with a silence too heavy to carry. So wait, beloved, but do not worry. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword around you. You are not vulnerable. You are not alone. You are not in danger. You are in position. What was hidden will not remain hidden. Type I am in alignment in the comments if you feel this shift in your spirit. Blessing code 3311 is now activating clarity around you. Stillness is your weapon now, not argument, not confrontation, not demands. Stillness. Michael repeats, your stillness is your sword. You don't have to chase what's already been ordained. You don't need to tear down walls that heaven is already shaking. This is not your burden to initiate. Heaven is already uncovering. Let this truth settle into your marrow. You don't need her permission to perceive what God has already shown you. Her silence can't block divine discernment. Her refusal to speak cannot override the voice of heaven. What was buried is being flooded with holy light, not by your might, but by divine intention. You may feel the urge to ask, to push, to force a reckoning. But Michael warns, resist, do not trade your crown for chaos. God does not need disorder to bring revelation. He only needs your surrender. Let heaven fight. Let angels do the digging. You may not see the battle in the unseen, but it is real. It is raging on your behalf. Truth does not need to be pried. It is now being delivered. All you must do is hold your position. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. The spiritually mature know timing is everything. This is not your moment to react. This is your moment to receive. Say nothing, for what is hidden is about to shout. Lies are suffocating now. Truth is rising like fire through the cracks. And those who buried it, they feel the heat. Michael says, you are not in the dark. You are not deceived. You are not alone. Heaven led you here. Every confusing moment, every silence, every prayer unanswered, none of it was wasted. And now, surrounded by angelic authority, you rest. Stillness isn't inaction. Stillness is trust. Stillness is surrender. Stillness lets divine order do what only heaven can do. So breathe. You are safe. You are seen. You are shielded. Heaven is handling what your heart cannot carry. Heaven is confronting what your voice couldn't. Heaven is revealing what they tried to conceal. Type I am covered if you trust heaven to handle the hidden. Blessing code 2 to 200 is now releasing protection over your life. You are no longer the silent child. Let that sink in. Let that shatter every version of you that was expected to stay small, compliant, blind. You have been refined in the silence, raised in the stillness, but not without strength. And now the silence has ended. You are rising, not in ego, but in authority. Heaven has reassigned your rank. The mantle on your life has shifted. Your assignment has arrived. Michael speaks. Your name has been announced in the realm of light. Your assignment has been released. They thought you would never see. They thought what they meant to protect you from has become the very sword you now wield. Let the divine record show. The truth was not lost. It was kept for such a time as this. You're not discovering something new. You're remembering something eternal. That ache you carried, that strange spiritual unease, it was heaven groaning in you, awakening your gift. You don't just seek truth, you are the clarity heaven is sending to your bloodline. And now they see it. Those who silenced you, dismissed you, thought you too delicate for truth, they see the fire in your eyes, the peace in your presence, the armor of heaven wrapped around you. You are not available in the same way. You are not manipulable. You are no longer their easy target. You are sovereign. Heaven backs you. Michael commands. Step fully into who you've become. Do not look back. You already have my blessing. And here's the divine irony. The truth they tried to hide from you is now your tool of transformation. You don't carry their shame, you carry their shift. You are the freedom they feared, and they will come to know it. Walk boldly, speak softly, move wisely. You don't need revenge, you don't need volume. Heaven will make sure your obedience echoes louder than any confession. Type I am rising in the comments if this resonates deep in your bones. Blessing code 181 is now releasing breakthrough and favor over your path. This is not just a revelation, it is a resurrection. The silence around your history is about to be pierced by the sound of divine truth. Michael declares, this is the final silence before divine thunder. What you feel stirring, it's not anxiety, it's activation. It's not fear, it's fire. Truth is coming. A divine confrontation is near, one that will realign not just your view, but your entire bloodline. The one who held the keys, the elder, the matriarch, the gatekeeper, is under spiritual inquiry, not for vengeance, but for vindication, for healing, for your freedom. This is where the story turns, where storms begin to favor your name, where what was concealed is now weaponized by heaven for your deliverance. What was manipulation will be met with miracles. What was confusion will yield clarity. What was heartbreak will become harvest from his hand, not theirs. The Lord is redeeming time, restoring your strength, rewriting your memory. You are stepping into wholeness. The crossing over has begun. From silence to sacred sound, from surviving to standing, from wondering to knowing. And if this stirred something within you, let heaven know. The silence is ending, and you, beloved, are rising. God bless you. Type yes if you believe in God. Type 111 if you believe in God.